Hey, this is a Cool Rocker with a quickie. So for the longest time, I wanted to make a video addressing the removal of raw image dialing back in August 2018 and how it affects the archival aspect of these blogs with very niche and super awesome pics like this one, King Sada, that reblogs stuff from likes of Palm and Laser and Kruma. But I would have ended up swearing a lot because of how angry I've been for a while on this subject matter. Way more so than the Not Safe for Work ban, which is what everyone takes as the death of Tumblr turning point, which I agree to an extent. But I think the raw image dialing removal thing was like 69% of the completion in their suicide and scandal of their fanbase. And considering how the only concerns Tumblr have done, either making the blue background slightly more darker or reblogging and how much they like K-pop, clearly they don't give a single duck. But quite recently I found out that for some posts, if you open the post on a new tab like this, in case you're curious, I middle mouse clicked on the thumbnail to open to a new tab. Then click on the image again to open with this blue background thing and open image in new tab. Right clicking on it, you'll get a 2048p version. And I was like, wait, what? So I tried with another post. One thing you can do to check if it at least has this 2048p thing is that if you use something like images in fetching a 1280p version, this means the source image will most likely be bigger than 1280p, unless it's exactly that resolution width. And so we do that same thing and voila, it's nice and big and not like this stupid 1280p width restriction thing that I absolutely despise, given we're not in 2007 rocking 720p monitors. Now, from what I've seen, this doesn't work 100% of the time for some reason, say this post, and you can see it's fetching a 1280p version, so I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be 2048p, right? But when I go to open the full res image, it's still 1280p, and I really can't tell what's the heuristics happening here to determine which posts get the 2048p resolution thing and not, so it's like flipping a coin whether it's happening or not. But I definitely take this over nothing, and definitely a pretty big thing, to be honest, in which I can finally have some of my frustration on this 1280p restriction thing be gone. Another thing I found out sadly is that any post prior to November 2019 does not get the 2048p resolution treatment. As you can see, I'm opening this image and it's got the 1280p resolution thing when I try to fetch it with images. And when I go for this, open a new image tab and stuff, it doesn't fetch it. And I tried with a bunch of other images from various months prior to November to nothing. Now, I first encountered this thing when I was looking for higher resolution sources for this album cover of a certain song from a certain album you may or may not know, you know. And Google Images of all places found a direct URL to a 2000 by 2000 version of this post, where normally you'd fetch the 1280p version if you open an image in a new tab or use images in the Tumblr post itself. And when I compare the URL to see how it's fetching this higher resolution version thing, it changes the S1280x1920 to S2048 to 3072, then followed by a completely different sequence of letters and numbers .jpeg. So there's no telling how to exactly go about finding that 2000x2000 version, since if you were to only do the S28x920 to 2048 3072 change, you'd get an error. And the Max Image URL dev reached out to find out that there's some kind of signature where the Tumblr API generates a unique signature for the URL required to fetch the 2048p version or something like that. I'm not really expecting on this ordeal, but regardless, the dev is saying that it's not that easy to fetch the URL, unlike for the 1280p version or lower, which require a fewer amount of parameters to change in the URL to fetch. Now, back then, I didn't try to open the image in a new tab with the blue background thing to get the 1240p version, so I can't tell if this feature was there back then. But I can't say that a few days ago when I randomly found this feature, I've got to admit I might have blew it up in ecstasy for finding out such a semi-blessed thing can happen. So, thank you so much to that one person in the Tumblr office that actually decided on this thing. And to the rest of the people in the office that are still stuck up on posting about K-pop and LGBT shit.
So can I say, go duck yourself?
Yeah!